Hi, everybody. This is Julie McGrath, founder of The Joy Source. And I started The Joy Source with the intention of spreading joy, inspiring you to find joy, and to remind you that you are worthy of unlimited joy. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about becoming life proof. And I've been thinking about this for a while, and I'm excited to tell you about it because I was thinking as I am looking at my phone, I have a life proof case on it. And I thought, given all that happens in our lives, in the news today, and just in our daily experiences, wouldn't it be nice if we were life proof? Like, I want a protective covering around me, protecting me from all the ills of the world. And so I put together this talk on becoming life proof, because wouldn't it just be nice if we were life proof, that nothing could break us, our body, mind, spirit? So when we think about our phones, and many of us spend a lot of time with our phones in our hands, around us, everywhere we go, we always make sure that our phones are charged. And some of us take better care of our phones than we do ourselves. So I spend my time as a motivational speaker going into workplaces. I speak a lot on job stress, burnout, self-care. I do trainings for managers. I do talks on working with difficult people. So in each of my talks now, I've added this segment, and it's a lot of it's 4 batteries that you would find at different levels of being charged in relation to our cell phones. And the lowest one is on red, of course, and the highest one is fully charged, all green bars ready to go. And I think about, for us, how many of us, we are excited when we feel really great, fully charged, and just love life. But so many of us operate on very few bars. We're tired. We don't have a lot of energy. We certainly don't have a lot of enthusiasm for life. We just wish we were life proof. And I think it's funny that we make sure that our phones are charged at night, but we don't necessarily do that for ourselves. So we're exhausted. We don't think about what could we do to make sure that when we wake up in the morning, we're fully charged. But our phones definitely need to be fully charged. So I want this podcast to remind you, this message today, to take just as good as care of you than you do of your phone. And I love it when I was just recently at the airport and I see everybody around running in a panic trying to charge their phone, ask people if they can borrow their charger because they need their phone. They need the phone to be charged. That's the most important thing. And I think, well, wouldn't it be nice if everybody paid that much attention to themselves? I think the world would be a happier place, because I see it. I see not many folks around looking fully alive. They're tired, they're frustrated, they're annoyed, but their phone's fully charged. So, that's definitely a good thing, right? So I'm going to use this message today to just remind you about your own self-care. And what is it for you that you should do when your own phone charger in you, right? When the batteries are just getting on red, how do you charge yourself? What can you do? What is your self-care plan when you do realize, oh boy, I'm running on empty here. I don't have much more energy for anything. So what is that? Do you just go down with the ship and just say, oh, this week's going to be a bad week, this month's going to be a bad month? Or do you do what you do with your phone and you run, not even walk, run to find an outlet where you can charge your phone? That's how I want to think about your self-care and you, because everything is better when you're positive and when you're fully charged. Everything is accessible to you when you're in that state of mind. They're doing research on it. There's books about it. And yet we still don't buy into it and embrace it. And I know it's a lot of work to get fully charged. It's not just like you're plugging yourself in like you do your phone. You actually have to put on the sneakers to go out for a walk, or schedule something so that you can do a hobby or go out with your friends, or whatever it is for you that you need to do for your self-care to buy you a few more bars of energy. It does take work. And who wants to do that when it's easier just to sit on the couch and wallow in how tired you are as your phone is getting on fully charged? So instead of sitting on the couch, not charging yourself in the way that you should, because many of us just wake up and say, okay, how many coffees do I need today to fake it? Now, I know some days are just bad days, but not every day. And how difficult life is when we're always tired. We're always running on empty. We're never taking care of ourselves and doing anything for us that gets us to fully charged. Yes, I love my life. I love where I am today. I have hobbies that I do that nourish me. I have friends that support me. I'm taking good care of my body. I'm healthy. All of the good stuff. Instead, it's, all right, I need an extra latte today. I'm going to smoke some cigarettes today. I'm going to eat a little bit extra today. I'm just not feeling great. So the first step in becoming life-proof, my friends, seek to be fully charged. Invest in being every green bar on your phone. Relate that to you. You have to take good care of yourself. Running on empty isn't a badge of honor. Running around and just exhausted and angry and frustrated, that isn't a badge of honor. We're all busy. Figure out a way that you can balance the busyness with the self-care. And don't lose self-care when you need it. When you're tired, when you're worn out, that is a great time for self-care. Okay? So it's a recipe for disaster to be in bad health, make poor choices. Right? You're just not happy with life. It just keeps feeding on each other. So I want you to seek to live in peace, not chaos. Spend time relaxing, resting when you need it, right? All of that, less stress. And you hear it everywhere about there's so much stress and we're stressed more than ever. So how are you going to deal with the stress? Again, God, I would love to be life-proof. When like I've said in my Goals and Dreams podcast of doing what you love, okay, setting those goals in motion, you can't do any of the positive things that I'm encouraging you to do when you're constantly running on empty. It just doesn't work. It's hard to get into that place. So instead, we fall back to our default of just not creating the life that we want, which causes us to get frustrated and angry. We want what they have, but we just can't seem to make the right choices to get in that direction. So when you can see the world clearly, when you're less stressed, when you're healthy, you're not seeing the world through tainted vision of stress, of worry, fear, right? Life is easier for you. So I have here with me a list of when you buy a life-proof phone, what life-proof really means for your phone. And the first one says the reason why you should buy a life-proof cover for your phone is the outer shell delivers maximum durability and drop defense. So let's relate that back to us. Our outer shell has maximum durability. I'm going to use that as get in good shape, folks. Start working out. Start getting healthy. Just a little bit at a time goes a long way. And your outer shell, again, I'm going to use as positive attitude, taking good care of ourselves. And the next one, why you buy a life-proof case, is invisible outer layer prevents scuffs, scrapes, and scratches. And I'm going to keep saying, and I'll relate that back, of our soul, right? Scuffs, scrapes, and scratches. It prevents it. So how about we relate this to boundaries? And how are you at setting them? Do you let people walk all over you? Right? It's an invisible outer layer. And that's what I think boundaries are. So people can feel your boundaries. It's an invisible no for some people to just feel that around you, right? Your boundaries are tight. And other people just get walked all over. And it feels like the scuffs, the scrapes, the scratches, right? And also, there was this great quote, anything can be improved by boundaries, anything in your life that's not working out well. And I do believe that. I think every once in a while it's important for us to reassess our boundaries. Do we drop them a lot and we feel like we're getting used? People taking advantage of us? Because that certainly doesn't feel good. Or are they too tight? We don't let anything else in. We don't say yes to anything. We don't say yes to life. We just become very rigid. So that's just a point for you to think about in where are you in your boundaries. And I also know that over time we get better with setting boundaries because we know what feels good and what doesn't, what we say yes to and what we want to say no to. And also I'm going to use that as also saying being assertive, right? How assertive are you in your life for what you want? Do you speak up for what you need, or do you let other people talk for you? How assertive are you in getting your own needs met? All of this, when we talk about life proof, I can equate it to just being, how resilient are you? So when you think about the life proof case for your phone, you can drop it, you can smash it, you can pour things on it, and it is still as good as new. So that's what I would like for you to think about on becoming life proof. I want you to become as resilient as you possibly can. And all things, these things I'm talking about go into building your resiliency over time, your boundaries, your assertiveness, taking good care of yourself, body, mind, and spirit, putting the effort in. So that when you do drop, when you do feel like you're getting scrapes and scratches, that you're not down for too long. You come back because you're feeling you've worked really hard on yourself. So you know that you have it within you to overcome any of those challenges. And that's being resilient. That's being life proof. So the next description of life proof is inner mold seals case and phone to stop crud from getting inside. So what are you doing to stop the crud from getting inside your life? So let's think about what crud is. So I'm going to say, I don't know, just all the negativity, the drama, the gossip. And some of it's the stuff you read on social media. That's crud, and it gets in between your ears and it stays there. Get rid of it. If you have to defriend people, if you have to unfollow people on Facebook, if you have to not watch the news first thing in the morning because it stays with you all day, what are those things that you can do to stop that crud from getting inside? How about just not hanging out with the negative folks, not getting involved in drama, in people that spend their days complaining, people that worry and are fear-based? I want to be life-proof. I want to be resilient. I want to stop that crud from getting inside. And when it does get inside, I know I have the tools to get it out quickly so that it doesn't overcome my body, mind, and spirit. And the next description of a life-proof case is dynamic micro mesh blocks dust and debris while the audio flows free. Well, isn't that a great thing to have? The dust takes up space in your head. So I'm going to say, what can you do to block that dust and debris so that you are free to create the life that you want? Something that will uplift you, that will inspire you. However you define the crud, it's all around us. And it's just life. Life is, and the experiences. I want you to think about in this message today is, what do you need to do to become life-proof, to become resilient? Fully charged in a life-proof case. Imagine that, how good we take care of our wonderful little phones. And yet so many of us walk around barely making it through the day with a lot of crud and dust and scrapes in our body, mind, and spirit. And certainly not fully charged. So use this message today as a reminder. Are you fully charged today? How many bars are you working with? Couple? Maybe close to getting fully charged. So when you're at that halfway mark, seek to be fully charged, because life is better when you are, when you have energy, when you're thinking positive, when you're surrounded by those people who love you and support you. What do you have to do to become fully charged? That's the goal every morning. And it shouldn't be, as I had mentioned earlier in my podcast, when you wake up, I'm already tired. I can't wait to get back to bed. I hate this life. I hate my day already, and it hasn't even started. That means you are not fully charged. So I want you to think about, what do I have to do to get to that good place? And just like we plug in our phones to be fully charged, what do you need to plug into in your life? Do you need to rediscover a hobby that nourishes you and keeps the crud from entering you? Or you need to get healthy, go for a walk every day, hang out more with the friends that uplift you? Do you need to set a new goal? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need to get a new job? What is it that you have to do to get yourself fully